how's it going? I wanted to quickly apologize for slacking on videos. So today's video, I really wanted to talk about the fears and limitations that a chronic illness has. So fears vary. In the beginning, my fears were a lot different than the fears I have now. The fears in the beginning were, I guess you could say, short term. So my fears were so I just got diagnosed with POTS, what's next? Well, I had a fear of being diagnosed with something else. And once I learned about POTS in the beginning, and was familiar with what POTS was going to do, I did have the fear of, is this not ever going to go away? That fear of, did I just sign my life away to this illness? That was a huge fear that I probably thought about a lot. Another fear was, is this illness going to be who I am? I was terrified of this illness taking over who I was and it being the only thing that made up me, that identified me. And that's a fear I probably fight every day, is wanting to fight to make sure that I still can be Hannah without having to be POTS. And because POTS controls your whole life, it's a very real fear that it's just going to slip one day and you're just going to be overcome with just this illness. Again, I try so hard to be myself and build myself aside from my illness. So one of the biggest steps I did was start a YouTube channel. That, yes, I have an illness and I'm going to talk about it, but I'm still Hannah. I still do things that make life other than, succumb to my illness. Another fear is, will POTS limit me in life? This is a huge fear of mine. Is POTS going to limit me to the point where it decides what my life is going to be? I would love, love, love to go to school and get a medical degree, whether it be nursing or a doctorate, whatever it may be. I just want something in the medical field. Will POTS prevent me from achieving that? Or will POTS hinder me from achieving that? That's a huge fear and frustration I have, is I just want to go to university, but I can't just be a normal student. I can't have all my classes in 1 week and still be okay. It would be 1 or 2 classes a whole week, just so I could still be well enough to achieve and complete those classes. So those are just a handful of the big fears. The small fears, of course, are am I going to end up in hospital again? As soon as I get really unwell, I can't sit up, it's oh geez, am I going to end up in hospital again? Because I hate being in hospitals. Who doesn't hate being in hospitals? I hate being poked at, and I have to be poked at every 2 weeks. So another fear I have is, are they going to get the IV in first try? I don't know if this is a stupid fear, but I've had a few times where they have poked me with the IV needles 6 times, and I'm leaving with 2 black and blue arms. So I do have a fear of, is that going to happen again today? I don't want bruised arms. It hurts. So that's another, I don't know. Probably shouldn't be a fear, but it is. Another fear is am I going to continue to be accepted? So I realize that not everyone is going to accept me with my illness. I'm not going to say used to, but it's not uncommon that I have been judged and people have turned away because of my illness, and I just hope that life doesn't always continue to be hard on me in that way. I wish to find more people who are not only accepting of who I am, but of my illness. That me and my illness kind of come together. We're a package. I can't just be around you when I'm well and act like there's nothing wrong, because I do have an illness and there's nothing I can do about that. I guess I didn't give myself slack. I did in the beginning. I would hang out with people and when I was well, so I could just be, well, not even Hannah. I was being this person who didn't have an illness, who wasn't struggling in life, who wasn't fighting, to be heard by doctors or fighting to get answers, to get medications. I would just be there, and this whole chunk of my life I would hide or avoid talking about. And because I was afraid that people would not accept the illness part of me. And that's socially, it's a huge thing. I'm not gonna lie. Making friends with a chronic illness is an interesting task. So, hurdles with a chronic illness, I guess, will kind of coincide with fears. So I did mention a few. Hurdles, of course, are going to school. Hurdles are any big outing. So whether it go to the mall. I just went to the Expo Center to see the snowmobile show. That is a rather big, hurdle that you have to overcome, because your body is going to tell you that it can't do this, but your mind's going to tell you that, we have to do this. So it's a big hurdle to accomplish that. And school is a hurdle I have not yet found a way to achieve. And I feel like I should have, figured a way to get to go to school, because, I've kind of avoided that for a while. And I really do need to figure that out really soon, and I really need to get that done, because I really want to, really want to go to university. So, and of course, hurdles are a big one to me. Hurdles are new medications. So when I get a new medication, I'm terrified of the medication. Terrified. Every single time. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm terrified that it's going to make me worse, or I'm going to have a weird reaction to it, or a side effect from it, even though most of my symptoms they're on everything. Most of my symptoms fall under everything. So that's another hurdle, is this new medication going to be good, or is it going to be bad? And it's getting over that fear and trying it and giving the medication a try. That is a hurdle that is a hard one, because when you're doing okay, not great, just okay, do you really want to mess with that by trying a new medication? So there's a few of my fears and hurdles, and hopefully some of you can relate or understand. So thanks for watching. Bye.